Good morning, my Padawans. How's everyone doing? Listen, this week is Comic Con in San Diego. Comic Con is the biggest in the world. It was the first. It started here in the 70s with Star Wars. There's documentaries about it if you want to look it up. I started going Comic Con, I don't know, I think it was 87, 88, something like that, 88, 89. I think it was 88. Comic Con used to be friendly to everyone. It wasn't just for the movie studios, it was for everyone. I remember going to Comic Con where you could stand in line outside the convention center, buy a ticket for like $20, $25, and just walk in and go to Hall H and see the directors and the upcoming movies, and you would get to meet all the actors. And I'm talking about 80s, 90s. I got to see a lot of panels with the entire cast of some movies. The most memorable ones that I saw the entire cast of Star Trek. I think it was one of the movies, Star Trek. Not The Search for Spock. It could have been Generations or the one before Generations. I also saw the entire cast of Street Fighter, Demolition Man, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, all the cast of Street Fighter. I remember seeing Jim Carrey promoting The Mask. In the 90s, I gotta say the best times at Comic Con was in the 90s. I remember meeting McFarlane when he was promoting Spawn, the movie. And this is the time when you had, Marvel transitioning into like independent comics like Image. But that's when comic book movies started, like Blade. I remember Wesley Snipes was there. Comic Con was the best during the 90s. It was because that's when you were having like the first time you had really good, comic book movies. And I remember, I don't know if you guys knew this, but The Mask by Mike Richardson from Dark Horse, it was a comic book. I have the comic book signed by the artist and Mike Richardson. Mike Richardson was the editor and the president of Dark Horse. And you also had, some of the first movies based on video games. So what I'm saying is, Comic-Con started out pretty good. It was around 20,000 people, but then it started growing and growing. Now, let's jump to 2000s. Let's go to the 2000s, but more specifically, I want to talk about 2024 and why I don't go anymore. Well, this is what happened. They instead of being able to buy tickets, first come, first served, outside the convention center and waiting in line, and I worked at Comic-Con. All right, I did press photography for Comic-Con. I did crowd control for Comic-Con, volunteering, moving boxes. I would interview people at the Eisner Awards. I did it all at the Comic-Con. Gave away the T-shirts. I used to make the badges, like do the badges and put the name on it and give it to the attendee and take the money and stuff. So I was a cashier too. I did it all. Okay. When they went to a computer system where now you can only get tickets if you're like in this digital waiting line online. So it's kind of like a lottery that you can only get tickets that way. And if they sell out, you don't get a ticket. So that happened to me one time when I stopped going, because instead of going to Comic-Con, I went to Orlando to Star Wars Celebration, and they got me out of their system. And so the next year I wasn't registered. and I couldn't get a ticket. I think this was like in 2006, 2007, 8, or 2000. No, wait, when was this? No, probably 2016, 2017. Okay. So anyway, they made it hard for people to get tickets. Okay, they raised the prices like 1,000%. A ticket to go to Comic Con, I think it's going to cost you like $300. And the problem was the studios. I mean, before you had studios go there, but it wasn't like that's the only thing that you can do at Comic Con. Comic Con used to be about comics, okay? Marvel, DC, of course, the big two. And then you had independent dealers. I like going to Comic Con because they had all these dealers, this collectible, resellers and dealers. When I say dealers, people that are selling at tables, like vendors, and they're selling at tables and they're sending selling their Star Wars toys, or just regular people buying tables at Comic Con to sell, kind of like a swap meet. That was Comic Con, and you would go around these tables and make deals and trade and get the comics that you missed the year before, or look for like the Star Wars figure that So it was Comic Con was mostly about buying, trading, selling, talking to collectors, talking about comics. And so it was about socializing. You would go there and talk to other comic collectors. Hey, what did you read the X-Men this week? Hey, did you buy the Wolverine comic? It was kind of like that. I'm talking about 80s and 90s. Now that's not what it is. Now it's corporate greed. All it is the studios take over the convention center. They take all the hotels, okay? They take all the tickets. All the tickets are given to the promoters and to the studio heads and the studio people that are at the convention. So if you're like a studio worker, let's say you work for Sony, right? And Sony's going to have a booth. So you have a booth, and let's say 20 people work the booth at Comic-Con at Sony, right? You work for Sony. So each of those people get 4 tickets for free, okay? Because they work for the studio. So that's what happened. The studios got involved. The studios take over everything. Their families get all the free tickets. That's the way it works. And the regular public is left out. So unless you know someone, in the know, or an actor, or a movie studio or someone, you're probably not going to be able to go. I mean, unless you get lucky, unless you go into the, they sell the tickets, I think, like months ahead. I hadn't even tried it yet. It's like on a Saturday. I get the emails. Okay, the tickets are going to go Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning. Be there, and you got to log in and stuff and wait. And the tickets sell out like in a minute or two, okay? And you're talking about 200,000 people, okay? You get about 200 to 300,000 people now. When I started going, it was 20,000 people. So what that means is that you can't go into Hall H to watch a panel because you're going to stand in line for 8 hours, or that means you're not going to be able to get in. Let's say you want to go see the Wolverine Ryan Reynolds panel this week because they're going to be there, right? You probably won't be able to get in unless you get a ticket, unless you wait in line for hours and hours and hours. So it's just really bad. It's ridiculous. Now, I used to be able to get a hotel room in downtown, but now you can't. Now that the hotels, because they know it's Comic-Con, right? So they raised the prices. First of all, they gave all the rooms to the studios. They give the rooms to Marvel, DC, Legendary. What's the other one? Well, you got so many studios now. It's just ridiculous. Sony is always there. They get all the tickets. They buy all the hotels, all the hotel rooms. They get all the tickets. And so now Comic Con is about promoting movies or TV shows. You know, the Stranger Things, the Netflix shows up. I mean, Netflix, they're always there. They go big, you know. They really go big. But now it's just about movies and TV shows. Nobody cares about comic books. Nobody cares about dealers, you know, collectibles. It's just really sad. And so it's not, I don't even know why they call it Comic Con anymore. They should just call it Movie Con, you know? Movie Con, or Rip-Off Con, because it's a rip-off. I mean, you gotta, if you're gonna stay the entire week, you have to spend $2,000 plus the ticket, plus the expensive food, plus the overpriced toys that they sell, the exclusives, because they have exclusives at every Comic Con. I know they're gonna have a Star Wars exclusive, but I'm not gonna be able to get it because I'm not going. So it's just not fun anymore. It's just not fun. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, you can go. I mean, in the past 10 years, people have been going to Comic Con, but they just go outside. Like they go walk around the Gaslamp Quarter. They go walk around, and they don't even have to go inside the convention center. They just walk around and hang out. You know, it's really stupid and lame. I was thinking of maybe going just like downtown, just walking around, because there's people that are walking around. Now, the thing about cosplay, I don't do cosplay. I never have. I have no interest in dressing up. I've never done it. These people are scumbags. All they do is just dress up. They're narcissists. They just want to take their pictures, and some of them want to charge you money for it. All right, and I don't even know how these people do it. That's why I quit the San Diego Star Wars Society, because you know you had to dress up. You had to go there and dress up as a stormtrooper or as a Jedi, and you had to work. It was just work, and they don't even pay you. I mean, you're walking around the tables and walking around taking pictures with people, but that's no fun. You can't go and do your thing. You can't go and go buy things or do your own thing. You know, you always have to be committed to the cosplay. I was never interested in that. You know, I don't want to be in a costume 4 days, sweating all day, and I'm there to buy my stuff and look for some comics that I missed or buy some Star Wars stuff, whatever. I don't give a shit what the studios are releasing, because if I want to see a movie, I really don't need to see a panel about it. I really don't need to be sold on the movie. I already know like a year or 2 years before the movie that I want to see it, you know? So I know the advertising kind of works for a lot of people. You know, you got people that are easily manipulated. You know, let's say you go to Comic-Con and you go to a booth and they give you like a little poster of a movie that you didn't even know anything about. Okay, maybe you'll go see it, right? That's the idea. You get like a freebie and you might go see the movie. That's the whole idea of the studio mentality, okay? And I remember getting I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I got a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I remember getting the poster from War of the Worlds before, you know, and I think I don't know if I think Tom Cruise was there, and the entire studio for War of the Worlds was there. And I mean, but I was still gonna go see the movie. See, but I know there's a lot of younger people that, you know, you're walking to their booth and you get like, you know, you get something for free. Here's a freebie. Check out our product. Come see our movie this summer, you know. And it's a promotional table, you know. That's all it is. Comic-Con is just nowadays is just made to sell tickets. Okay, that's all it is. They just want you to go see their movie, or go buy their comic book, or go watch their TV show. So it's like they're buying you. You know, they're buying your business. And okay, I guess in a sense it kind of makes sense, but no, I don't go to Comic Cons to to be told what to do. Okay, I don't want to be like, I'm gonna go watch Alien Romulus. I don't need to go to Comic-Con to, someone to tell me that it's gonna be good or not. I'm not gonna watch Wolverine and Deadpool. Don't have no interest in that. I might do another video maybe tomorrow about Deadpool and Wolverine. But anyway, Comic-Con, yeah, is this week. I got a text from a friend of mine, actually from my best friend. He said, "You want to go to Comic-Con this week?" I said, "No, I'm not going." I didn't even answer the text. So that's what Comic-Con is, guys. Comic-Con has been destroyed by the corporations, by the studios, by Hollywood. It's woke as fuck, boring as fuck. I don't care if you dress up like Captain America or the Hulk or a Stormtrooper or Darth Vader. I really don't care. That's not why I started going to Comic-Con. Okay. Now, if I was like a little kid, I'd understand, I'd get it. So what do you guys think? You guys been to Comic-Con? Do you have any particular interest in something? I did want to go just to pick up the, like I said, the Star Wars Jazzwares micro galaxy ships that they're selling for $100 because they're only exclusive to Comic-Con. But that's the only reason why I wanted to go. And don't get me wrong, I met like hundreds of cool people. I met Dave Filoni, the entire cast of the Clone Wars. I've met Anakin Hayden Christensen, a lot of cool people. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who else? I'm trying to think. It was always like an all-star cast. I just can't think about everybody right now, but it's cool. Like if you're like starstruck, like if you care about actors, okay, it might be cool for you. I know Mark Hamill was there every year. I talked to Mark Hamill a lot of times. I took his picture. I got his autograph. I know Billy D. Williams is, I don't know if he's still going because he's getting a little older. But, a lot of the new guys were there. The guy that plays Boba Fett, Tamora Morrison. And, a lot of those, not like the main cast. And then they also have they always have like a big thing about Star Wars, and I am kind of interested in Star Wars, but not to the point that I'm going to spend $2,000 on 3 nights because I can't drink and drive. So, when I used to go to Comic-Con, I used to party. I go to Comic-Con all day and then party all night. So you want to get a room there because it's closer, and then you can drop off your stuff, and then go back, and then drop off your stuff, and then go back. And I remember going to watch these movies overnight, and Comic-Con was from 8 in the morning to 3 in the morning. It was like an all day thing, and it was great. And I'm talking about 80s and 90s. It was great. And I remember being at the Omni Hotel in downtown when the new Star Trek movie came out, the new Star Treks by J.J. Abrams. And I remember they were all staying there because the Omni Hotel is across the street from the convention center. So they took over the hotel, and I was lucky enough to get a room. And I remember seeing all the cast of Star Trek in the elevators and stuff, I don't know, the guy that plays Spock, Quinto, whatever his name is, and all the other people and the directors and everybody. And then everybody would just go to the bar later after they were done at the Comic-Con, and everybody was hanging out at the bar at the Omni or at the Marriott or at the Hilton. And so I got to talk a lot, to, with actors and stuff, and just hang out, and it was kind of cool. But I just don't get why Comic-Con has become, like I said, MovieCon. And don't get me wrong, and that's why I hate the Big Bang Theory, because Chuck Lorre, the guy that made the Big Bang Theory and the 2.5 Men, he went to the Comic-Con. I saw him there all the time. He was always there. Now, nobody knew who he was, but he was doing research. And that's how he created the Big Bang Theory, because he was looking at us like the guys that go to Comic-Con, like the nerds and the people that like Star Trek and Star Wars. And when I watch the Big Bang Theory, I just know that that's me. So it's kind of sad that he's making fun of us. He's trolling the people that grew up with Comic-Con and used to go to these shows. So yeah, I mean, Comic-Con's a big turnoff. Even though I do like the culture, I like movies. I like everything about it. But I'm not gonna be, scammed. It's basically a scam, man. Paying all that much money to just go see a panel because you like the director or the actors. And I'm saying, okay, look, I already seen all these people in real life. I already seen them. I mean, I saw Peter Jackson there. I seen George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. Most of the big stars, I seen them at Comic Cons. If not at Comic Cons, at Star Wars celebrations. So it's not like I'm gonna go, oh my God, I gotta go meet Ewan McGregor, because I already met Ewan McGregor. So it's not like a big deal to me. And like I said, when it comes about the movies, I don't listen to. I don't care what the critics have to say. I really don't. If I'm gonna go see a movie, I'm gonna go see it. That's it. I make decisions about going to see a movie at the movie theater like months ahead. Okay. So now, if I do need something that I didn't get or that I missed, you just go to eBay. I get a lot of stuff on eBay. Like rarities and collectibles that you can't. But back in the day, there was no eBay, so you had to go to Comic-Con and try to make a deal. I sold a lot of things at Comic-Con. I remember I had a few toys and a couple of posters and some trading cards. I used to know a guy that would sell it at Comic-Con. You could rent a table. It depends on the size of the, on the floor, like on the size of the space. And I think him and his friend rented a couple of tables. It was like a small space. And I think they paid at that time it was like $300. I think today it's like $2,000 if you want to go sell at Comic-Con at the dealership area. And also there's like the artist alley, which I met a lot of cool artists at the artist alley. And you got the cosplay masquerade party that a lot of people go to, which is like, the masquerade, everybody dresses up and there's like an award to the best costume. And then you guys the Eisner Awards that are given to the best comics. You have the panels, you have the floor, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you've never been to Comic-Con and you want to spend $300 on one ticket plus $300 in a hotel room, okay, plus wait in line for 8 hours, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you, okay? I'm just saying. I'll leave you guys there. Leave me a comment, and may the force be with you guys. Bye.